Well, the Nigerian iron and steel industry has been moribund for over 4 decades, and it's a perfect example of how not to grow an industry, one would say. Well, recently there's been a lot of sound bites and good rhetoric about reviving the abandoned steel plant. Many analysts conclude that we are skeptical about policy promises without any tangible. As a new investor in this sector in the country, what gives you hope that things will be different this time around?
Well, the reality is that Nigeria is having a huge shortage of foreign exchange, and that has forced us to look inwards within the country to see what we can do to put Nigeria back on its own feet, as far as the steel is concerned. Our group makes 1.2 million tons of steel, and we save over $1 billion of foreign exchange for the country. And this is a major step in Nigeria being self-sufficient in terms of steel. And rather, we have started exporting steel for the last few years as well to the neighboring countries.
All right, Mr. Gupta, you recently acquired a Tower Aluminium Company, which is a very bold move on your side. What has been your experience so far?
Well, the metal sector is related to each other, and aluminium and steel go together. So it's within our sector that and it's all used in the same construction and building materials industry. So it's an allied, and it's a product the products are such that they give us synergy in our group. And we have the trained manpower and the experience in handling the metals business for over 3 decades in Nigeria. My experience, to answer your question specifically, our experience has been quite pleasant. We bought it during the height of the pandemic, and it was a big risk because the whole country was in lockdown. And since that, we have started the operations, and the company is now back on its own feet, doing well. Thank you.
Mr. Gupta, but I'd also like to know, who are your leading customers, and how are your activities helping increase output and employment in Nigeria?
Our leading customers are the Dangote Group, with all the steel supplied to their refineries from us, because we are a manufacturer that makes a high quality of steel, which meets international standards. And our steel can be exported all the way to the UK without even having to be tested. Our other esteemed clients are companies like Julius Berger and other international construction companies who require certified steel for high quality steel for their projects.
So the building materials industry is enjoying a mini boom as a result of low interest rates and government stimulus and spending plans. Is increased government investment in infrastructure and policies having any direct or indirect impact on your company? And do you feel optimistic about the Nigerian economy in this year and next?
Government sector definitely has an effect on the demand. In our sector, it's mainly it's indirect demand. We don't really have dealings with government directly as far as the sales of our products are concerned. But they drive the economy. They're the biggest driver of the economy, and they are concentrating on giving out jobs for the infrastructure development of the country. And without steel, there is no infrastructure development. So definitely it helps us. However, I feel that the true potential of Nigeria is much, much bigger than what is the current state of affairs.
All right, so this subsector contracted by 18.44% in the fourth quarter of 2020. What would be your recommendations to boost the industry output?
My recommendation would be the government should engage more with the leading players in the sector and understand our problems. And it's a two-way street where we can explain to them what we need and what their expectations are, so that we can have a fruitful dialogue and move forward in discussions.
So given these suggestions you're making, the collaboration and talking to the government, what is your medium and long-term outlook for the industry in the country?
For this industry, I think the outlook is very, very positive. We have, for the last 3 years, been involved in a project in Kaduna State where we are doing a backward integration of making steel from iron ore. And this is in line with government policy they have with Ajayakuta, where we need to be self-reliant on steel production. And in fact, we'll be the giant in Africa, providing steel for all over the continent as a result of what we are doing.
We certainly look forward to that, Mr. Gupta. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us, and we wish you a successful collaboration and investments in the country. Mr. Raj Gupta is a chairman of Africa Industries Group, and he told us a bit about the industry. Well, we'll take a time out, and we'll be back and go to Eddie for the markets.